Is your health and fitness guru really all that in a bag of chips? Well, I beg to differ in some of these situations. Let's unpack this and talk a little bit deeper about some of the frauds out there and some of the nonsense I've heard over the years. But before we get there, make sure to like and share this video, subscribe to my channel, and make sure to hit that little yellow button to get notified every time I post something new. Ah yes, the good old-fashioned fitness frauds, and health and fitness frauds, I should say, and all-purpose frauds, really. When it comes to supplements and diet plans and all these other things, doesn't matter if they're in the nutrition field, the fitness field, or the wellness field, there are a lot of frauds out there and a lot of people talking smack, and you gotta be careful about who you listen to and what they say. I'm just gonna give you a few examples of things I've heard over the years and what I feel is complete bunk. First things first, I saw this influencer talking smack on YouTube a couple months back about Turkish Get-Ups are a nonsense exercise. He said they're all flash and they're all show and no go and they don't do any benefits to the body. This guy obviously has no idea what he's talking about. The Turkish Get-Up with a kettlebell is one of the best exercises you can ever do. I actually have a how-to video on my channel that talks about the Turkish Get-Up and how to do it properly. Go and watch it and go practice a Turkish Get-Up. Do 5 reps each side, alternating back and forth, and then report back to me and let me know how much of a BS exercise a Turkish Get-Up is. They improve your core strength, your balance, your flexibility, your shoulder stability, your brain function, and they make you happy as well, so they put a smile on your face. You can't go wrong with a Turkish Get-Up, so don't listen to that nonsense. Then we have this other guy, Shred, who talks about cardio does not burn fat. It does burn calories and that's it, but when you burn calories, you're not gonna lose fat. What a bunch of nonsense that is. I don't know any people that are fat who do cardio on a regular basis. Yeah, there might be cardio junkies who just do cardio and they might be skinny fat and they might have some softness in their body, but none of them are actually fat, where they have big mounds of fat on their body. It's absolutely impossible when you do cardio. Don't listen to that bad advice and don't listen to that nitwit either. Cardio is wonderful for the body. It helps with your cardiovascular strength. It helps reduce the aging process. It helps reduce heart disease risk. It helps reduce diabetes risk. And you can just put any condition in there and it will reduce the risk of it. So do cardio, do it on a regular basis, and do it with a smile on your face too. Now let's talk about these guys out there who are influencers who come up with their own line of supplements and they're constantly pushing them in your face. Protein powders, pre-workout formulas, greens powders, probiotics, prebiotics. Doesn't matter. They've got something and they're going to try to sell it to you. And a lot of them claim that their products are clean and pure. Well, make sure to do your research and read the ingredient labels of said products that these people sell. I can't tell you how many times I've heard someone chirping away about their protein powder and how it's great and how it's scientifically designed and engineered and it's super good for you. Come to find out, I go to their website and after spending about 20 minutes trying to find an ingredient label on one of their products, I finally find it. And what do I see in the ingredients? Sucralose, FD&C red leg number 4, artificial sweeteners, artificial colors, nothing natural about it. Or it'll have the lack of all those things minus sucralose. And then they claim the sucralose is clean and sucralose is fine. And it's not fine. It's a laboratory manufactured form of sugar alternative that is chemically processed and toxic to the body. It's a neurotoxin. You don't want that nasty crap swimming around in your body. And then I have another good story about this. There's this guy who also is on YouTube who has tons and tons of followers who actually shot a video and said to look out for products that have artificial sweeteners, artificial colors, sucralose, aspartame, FD&C red leg number 4, and all these other artificial preservatives. And he was adamant about the fact that all of this can have a mind-altering and body-altering effect and damage your organs, and stay away from it. Come to find out, I go to his website and I look up his supplements and I looked up his protein powder. And guess what I found in there? Sucralose. That's called the good old American double standard. That is a hypocrite and I will not follow that guy anymore. Not that I followed him before. I just happened upon that video. So the bottom line is this, folks. Do your research. Listen to people who are legitimate. Use yourself as an example and an experiment. Don't listen to every study that's thrown in your face. Speaking of studies, that's another thing. I hear this other guy chatting away all the time with this whiteboard behind him, talking about, in this study, I found blah, 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 and in this study, blah, 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 and in this study, blah, 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 blah. And he goes on and on about study, study, study. And yeah, all these people pull studies into the mix and they show them to you and they talk about them. But guess what? For every study there is telling you that fasting is bad for you, there's another study that tells you fasting is good for you. For every study that says deadlifts are the best exercise in the world, there's another one that says deadlifts are the worst exercise in the world. So when you see these people chirping away about studies and chatting away and saying this study and that study, and that's all they're doing is parroting studies, be cautious of that person. Because not only does it get annoying after a while, but anyone can levy a study that they want if their pockets are deep enough. And I'm talking about big pharma, and I'm talking about big companies like Coke and Pepsi and all these other ones that fund a lot of these studies. So if you want to hide behind the studies, that's totally fine. But just realize no two bodies on this whole entire planet react the same way to anything. Use yourself as the study. You are the experiment. You deserve better than that. If you happen to read something and it sounds like it makes sense, try it. And if it doesn't make sense, go with it. I know for a fact that fasting works and fasting is fantastic. And I believe it was the CDC or someone came out with a study that said fasting increases your risk for heart disease and all this other nonsense. I actually laughed out loud when I read that article, and then I said, well, you guys are done, and I checked them off the list. I won't cite them ever again in anything I do. If it's a written periodical, or if it's a blog post, or if it's anything I do in a video. They lost my trust. So screw that, stand up for yourself, and use yourself as the study. And don't listen to all these experts and influencers out there that try to tell you otherwise. Okay, now I'm finished. I got all that off my chest. I feel much better now. Once again, make sure to like and share this video. Dish it out to anyone you know that can find it beneficial. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so yet. And make sure to hit that little yellow bell to get notified every time I come out with a cool video. Till next time, this is Kevin David Rail reporting live.